Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I'm Mr. Blast and today, oh yes, we're going over the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers ZAP Megazord, otherwise known as the Zord Ascension project from 2022. Here we are at the time of this recording, 3 years later. We're going to find out if every one of these guys is worth owning in the year 2025 and beyond. Is anyone going to top this, I guess, somewhat mainline Megazord that didn't come as a humongous premium price, kind of like the Soul of Chogokin Megazord did? And we're going to go over whether or not you should be trying to find this in the year 2025. Let's get into it. Okay, and first up, we are going to show off the Mastodon. And here is his little figurine that he comes with. It is painted black. There's not much to it, but it's kind of cool that they each have one of these. We're going to just check out each one as we go. And here is the Mastodon itself, and he looks pretty good. I don't ever remember this being something that was very articulated. Even in this version, it's not, especially, the original. Even the Soul of Chogokin version was not very, posable, but this one he looks pretty good. I unfortunately have a weird paint defect here. As you can see, these two areas are not painted. This one is, but these are not. I only just now caught this. I've owned this thing for a few months and I dug it out of the closet and I'm like, I really want to touch on this guy and let's get a review in, but he looks pretty good. The head comes off so you can use it as a shield later on, and it's pretty easy to get this guy into Megazord. And that's about it. So let's move on to the Pterodactyl. All right, here we have the Pink Ranger Zord, and there is the Pink Ranger right there. Basically the same type of look that they gave the Black Ranger. Mine's slowly chipping pink paint all over the place, but it is what it is. Here is what she looks like. All right, let's go on to the Zord itself. It's really simple and basic. This crane doesn't have a whole lot going on with it. Mine, unfortunately, has this issue where the head just does like this. It doesn't, it doesn't stay up very well. So when I'm posing it, I have to kind of like get it in the right position, then it stays up. But that's about it. The wings fold in as part of a transformation for the tank mode and also the Megazord mode. And it looks really good. I got nice paint over here and here. At least this is all painted properly. And that's all the Pink Ranger Zord is, the Pterodactyl. There's not a whole lot to it. Oh, a little bit of pink underneath here as well. The head has also got some decent paint on top of that. So now let's move on to Triceratops. All right, now we have the Triceratops, and there is the Blue Ranger figure that it comes with, or little figurine. He's got his iconic Blue Ranger pose, painted nice blue. Thank goodness, no blue chipping paint. And let's move on to the actual Triceratops itself. He looks really good. This is actually probably one of my favorites, believe it or not. He looks good. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any wheels on the bottom. I don't know why they didn't put any wheels. I think that would have really been something cool to have because it's supposed to roll, but it doesn't. It's just kind of static. Mine's got a really nice paint job, though. You can see all the yellow on top, the red eyes, the silver horns. The little blaster has his tail, and he's also got this really cool like red jewel piece here to give it a little extra detail. And also what looks like the TR. I guess it's TR. I've always thought it said TR on the side. Yeah, TR. This side it's painted backwards, which, it is what it is. But he looks really good. This one came out really nice. The mouth opens and closes as well. And if you guys didn't know, some of these, or actually all of them, have these little cockpits that open up, and there's a little tiny figurine inside. You can't really see it that well because it's just molded blue plastic in this case. But yeah, he looks really good. So let's move on to Saber-Tooth Tiger. All right, and here is the little tiny Yellow Ranger little figurine that it comes with. Again, it's just red plastic painted yellow. Signature pose that the Yellow Ranger does on the show, whether you watch Do Ranger or Power Rangers. Set that off to the side, and here's the actual Tiger Zord, or the Saber-Tooth Tiger, not the Tiger Zord. Don't get those mixed up, Mr. Blast. Here, the fangs move up and down for transformation purposes. The mouth opens and closes. The teeth are painted a nice silver. We got some nice application of red, white, and black paint. It's got nice red and black eyes, and a little bit of motion here. Unfortunately, none of these wheels roll. I wish they did. Little things that I think that could have been better for this figure overall, but I really do like what they've done here. Unfortunately, we will no longer see any more of these. That just because it was part of the Lightning Collection line, and we just don't get that. So we're not lucky enough to have that. Since then, the license has changed hands, so here we are today. But yeah, look, you can see all the nice, red and the white and black paint. A little bit of blue right here as well. The tail moves up and down with that nice jewel to match the Triceratops. A little bit of articulation here. I think this is more for the actual foot movement in the Megazord when you combine everything together. But yeah, it looks really good though. I really like the way this came out. It's kind of light. It is all plastic. There is no die cast in any of these figures or any of these Zords. So just bear that in mind. And yeah, I got a little more paint here too. The lines are pretty decent as well. And let's move on to, last but not least, the Tyrannosaurus. All right, here he is. We have the Red Ranger. He is the only one that's not painted. He is just the red molded plastic. I can definitely see the pose that he does here. It's kind of similar to Kimberly's, but not 100%. Or I should just say the Pink Ranger. So it depends on who you really think the Pink Ranger is. Everyone's got their opinions. But here he is. He looks really good. I probably think this is probably like my second favorite one. There's a couple little things that look kind of strange to me. Like when you open his mouth, you can see the Megazord's head peeking through there. But I'm pretty sure that was a thing that they actually did on the show too. But I don't remember. It's been so long since I watched full-fledged Power Ranger episodes. Here's the backside of him. He's got a really cool tail that bends and breaks in good ways so that you can get him into Megazord mode. His arms, you can move them up and down as well. He's got some nice red and yellow paint application right here. His blue eyes adds a little bit more detail overall at the top. You can see the back of the Megazord's head here. I think it hides it pretty well. And of course, we got to talk about, some people have talked about these in the past, but these pieces here that connect into the Triceratops and the Saber-Tooth Tiger for the leg mode for Megazord, and they are tough. So you're gonna just to give you an idea, there's absolutely no reason why this should be this tough. I understand why they did it though, because these are supposed to be like really tight joints for the actual Megazord mode so that you can pose it properly. I don't even think I could pose the Soul of Chogokin version of the Megazord very well. He just didn't like to stand up, and it really was a shame because that figure came at a premium cost, and you would think that he would have some of the best articulation we've ever seen in a Megazord. And of course, the original and even the Toys R Us re-release that we got, the Legacy version of it, did not have very good articulation. It was just a static stand there and look like a Megazord. That's all we got. So it's nice that they were able to do that. I understand some of the sacrifices they had to make along the way. But yeah, enough of me rambling. Let's get this thing into the battle mode where they turn into the tank that we rarely ever saw, at least in American Power Rangers. So let's get all these transformed and we'll take a look. All right, and we're back. Here he is in his battle tank mode. And I can tell you right now, I'll give you guys 10 seconds to figure out what was the most difficult part of getting this guy put together. Go ahead. I'm just going to sit here and spin this around and talk your ear off for a second. I want you guys to figure out and tell me what you think the most difficult part was of this entire tank mode. Are you guys ready? Do you really want to know the answer to this? I'm going to tell you right now, it was this. It was this shield right here. The Mastodon head shield was the most difficult part of this entire thing that I've had to put on here. And do you want to know why? Because it only connects at one point on the body itself. Let's see if we can move his tank blaster out of the way without undoing anything. Yeah, kind of. So I'll just show you guys. So right up here, he's supposed to hook in on top right there. Let me see if I can zoom in and I can show you guys. There you go. So there's a little part, there's a little piece that pops out for when he uses it for the shield in the Megazord mode. That's supposed to come out, and it's supposed to hook into a small hole on the chest of the Tyrannosaurus. And that was an absolute nightmare trying to get that in there. It just would not stay until I finagled it just enough to get it in there. And now we have it in tank mode, and it's kind of underappreciated. I always thought the Megazord tank mode was really underappreciated. And he looks really cool, really impractical. Most people wouldn't pose it on their shelf like this. I personally don't either. I would connect it and turn it into the Megazord. So that's what we're going to do. So we're not going to spend too much more time on this. Let's get this guy into Megazord mode. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this Zord Ascension project. Let's go. Okay, here we go. This is the full Megazord battle mode here, and he looks freaking awesome. Is this figure perfect? Absolutely not. We're going to go over some of the pros and cons of it, and to let you guys know, once again, is the Zord Ascension Project line still worth collecting in 2025? We only have a couple of Zords. I only own 2 of the 3 that release in this line, this being one of them, and I also have the Dragon Zord, so you guys are going to have to stay tuned for a future video. Make sure you hit that subscribe so you can see that one as well. But let's take a look all around at this Megazord. It's pretty big. I like the scale of this Megazord. He towers over a lot of other figures of this same line. I would say he's in line with like maybe some of the Transformers combiners, which I think is fair when you're looking at something like this. There is a lot of moving parts on this guy, which does hinder some of his flexibility and posability and whatnot, but you can get some pretty good poses from this guy, and I really do think that you guys would really enjoy this figure in your Power Rangers collection. I feel like we can never have too many Megazords. I don't know why. I never owned the original back when I was a kid, back in '93. I love the show, of course. I still love Power Rangers today. I'm not as big of a fan as I used to be, but I still respect the legacy that it created in you know, cartoons and everything else that came along with it. Even when it was only in Japan, it created and paved the way for action and martial arts TV shows and things like that that we know and love today. So but yeah, he's a really awesome figure. He does come with an extra set of hands that I don't think I've ever put on this figure. I've only ever just left the fist hands on here. I think that would require me to heat up the hands in here with some hot water so I can pop the hands off and then put on more of the action pose hands like these right here. So maybe I'll do that. I will do it eventually someday. I'm just afraid that I have to stand there too long and put too much hot water on my figure. I don't want to do that. So a little bit of parts forming. Not gonna lie, guys, these 2 little panels came off of the Mastodon. They basically go over as covers when he's in Mastodon mode. Unfortunately, there was nowhere for these to go. They just kind of pop out, and that's just what you're stuck with. It is the only 2 parts that come off and stay off when he's in Megazord mode. I feel like a lot of us, when we would get something like this, you would absolutely keep it in Megazord mode anyway, just so you can have all of these Zords on display. And he just looks absolutely fantastic. All the bright colors, red, the yellows and blues and blacks, and the gold up here, and the red M on the Mastodon. You've got the gray, you've got the silver, you've got all of this up here. It just looks like a fantastic figure. I really, really wish you would have gotten more of these. I do know that Playmates has a line of Power Rangers stuff out now. I've seen a few of those in store. I personally don't know if I'll be getting into those, just because for my taste, they just look a little too kids-like. And I know that's crazy talking about Power Rangers toys, but that's where I stand on it. Again, if it's something you guys really want me to take a look at, I can try to look for some of those and maybe get them in for a review and see how you guys would react to those. I really don't know, but just looking at it from head to toe, this guy actually has a little bit of articulation in his feet down here. You can turn the head to kind of give it a ankle pivot as well down here for the saber-tooth tiger, which I think is really cool. We've never really gotten a fully posable, transformable, combinable Megazord up until we got the ZAP project, or the ZAP Megazord, the Zord Ascension project. So, but he's absolutely massive. As you can see, my table is just not big enough for all of it. I've got a little clip over there in the corner that I have to turn my camera so you guys don't catch that in the frame, but it is what it is. So what do you guys think? Do you think that the ZAP Megazord is worth it in 2025? I absolutely do. I think this figure is fantastic. I think that they combine together as well as they possibly can. And who knows, maybe down the line we might get something a little better in the more budget-minded. Of course, this guy retailed for, I think it was about $160 US when it first came out. Some people felt it was too expensive. Personally, I didn't. I actually tried to get this guy when he first came out way back 3 years ago, but I just couldn't find it. It was sold out really quick. It was kind of a sign that maybe we could have gotten more of these. I would have loved a Ninja Zord, Thunder Megazord, you know, the Shogun Megazord. That would have been really cool to get that in this line. Unfortunately, it just didn't come to be. We weren't able to get the rest of the Zords from that era of Power Rangers. I would have wanted the Zeo Rangers and all that cool stuff, but you know, at least we have the Megazord from the MMPR line. We also have the Dragon Zord, and like I said, I will be doing a review on that one as well, and we're gonna see if he's worth it too. And yes, they are fully combinable. You can put the Dragon Zord on top of the Megazord. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure you like this video, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And I want to thank you all so much for watching this review. If there's anything else that you guys wanted to see as far as Power Rangers go, just let me know down in the comments below. I'll do my best to get those and do a review, and we'll see if it's worth you picking it up, because you never know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Mr. Blast, and I will catch you all on the next video.